kept coming at us. They brought a lot of line speed, probably more than they normally do, and they nullified us. So I thought our big men gave us some pretty good go forward around the edges, and we just we had chances to really play once we got a couple of metres in behind them, but maybe we overdid going through the middle, etc. But disappointing. We would have handed them the ball 8 or 9 times today. We gave them possession back, and can't afford that in a big game like a final.
Dave, do you think you should have finished the game against 14 men rather than Leinster being able to get Rock back in the field for the last 4 or 5?
Look, those decisions seem different every time you see a game, and I guess the telling thing for us is that we lost Hoggie on that incident. Obviously the officials saw it as a yellow, so we'll live with that, and no doubt there'll be more debate yet.
What was the situation with Hoggie? Was it shoulder injury? Was it HIA?
No, it's HIA. So he got ruled out immediately. It was loss of vision, sick, I almost felt like he was going to spew, and something else. So match doctor and our doctor ruled him out immediately. So he was out of the game before he even got to the sideline. Well, I think if we played better, we might have seen that. It's disappointing thing from our point of view is, we could have played a lot better, and we only lost by 3. Disappointing for Hoggie. It was a bit of a casualty ward for us. Fraser Brown's injured an ankle, not sure the extent of that, but losing him early, hurt a bit, and Sam Johnson picked up an injury as well, leg, so he was hobbling around for a little while. So it was a pretty physical encounter, and we had a few boys sitting in the injury ward at the end of it. The extra man? We had possession straight away and we turned it over. Kyle got held up. We turned the ball over down the other end and we kicked it straight back to them. So, I don't know, when we scored, were they still at 14, I think? Came back to 15 immediately after that. So, it was the first time in the second half we actually strung the ball together and built pressure and so on. So, I don't know, it felt to me at half time we'd done a lot. Guys like Scott Cummings were finding a lot of space and punching seams, and maybe we lacked a bit of patience a couple of key times.
Just to be clear, you thought it should have been a red?
I'm not going to comment on that because in the end, 1 week it's a red, 1 week it's a yellow, 1 week the ref says play on, and so it certainly had an impact on Hoggie. Clearly Nigel and his officials thought yellow was satisfactory.
Just to be clear, was Hoggie dealing with the medics to come back on?
Oh, probably. But like I said, he was ruled out immediately, even before he got off the ground. Questions for Cully, who's waited patiently?
Callum, how did it feel out there? Did it feel like the game was getting away from you, the more Leinster took control of possession?
I think the first half we felt pretty comfortable. We just coughed up too much ball. When we held it, I felt like we were going pretty well. When Matt scored that try first in the first quarter, we strung a few quick picks together and we were finding space, and then we thought we'd keep doing that, and then a couple drop balls, we just give them the ball back, and it was tough. And once they get the ball in that late in that second half, they were they're controlling the pace of the game really well, and they it's really hard to get it back. And so I was pretty confident we could get there even after the try. We scored late, but we coughed it up again. They held the ball, and that was it.
Did you feel like you just maybe ran out of ideas
Yeah, they defended pretty well. Suppose we got out of shape every now and then, and probably needed an extra man at some rucks to sort them out. So they put a lot of pressure on us when we had the ball. I don't think we ran out of ideas. Probably just needed to pick different options a bit better and use the short side a bit more maybe, and see what happened there. Cheese went down and scored a try. So yeah, it's disappointing.
Dave, that close to one of the big teams in Europe, the match that matter. What does it do for belief going forward?
Yeah, it's always tough, isn't it, that to reflect on where we're at in the season when it's such a disappointing night, but certainly something that we'll review and reflect on over the coming weeks. But I guess you can tell by the disappointment in the changing room that we're back ourselves to beat anyone in Europe, and we've got to be at our best. That's the key in it, and we went there tonight.
Switch to Mondays in print, lads. Outside as well, or not? No, the guys are available here, so you're able to talk. So not like lifestyle. Rob, do you want to ask some questions? No, ask you not like lifestyle. Do different. Rob, the guys are available now for print on Mondays because we're trying to get other guys done quickly because they'd like to catch.
Dave, which thing suits you for looking ahead for next season? Looking at next season.
We're in a pretty good place. I think I've mentioned a number of times the advantage. Some people would see as a disadvantage, but the advantage we reckon, is we have a lot of international guys who can't play week in, week out, and so we play a lot of other guys who have grown heaps. We've got some good young men coming through. We've got a lot of competition for places, and we've created depth, and we've seen that. I think in this competition we scored the most points during the international windows, which means that we've got some other guys doing a really good job for us. Obviously, we've done a little bit of contracting already, or a fair bit of contracting already, which we'll announce in the coming weeks. But really, we think we've got a nucleus of a good side. We've got some good young men who are going to play for Glasgow for a number of years. As we do, we've got to tweak, we've got to add a little bit that's going to maybe give us a different sort of edge to our game. Disappointed. He's concussed, so he doesn't really know what's going on. But he's like everyone. It was pretty quiet initially.
Do you think this against Radiant is simply experience of these big games, and you'll get there in the end, or is it something more you think?
Experience helps, but I think we've got the game to win these big ones. I think the key ingredient is just looking after the ball a bit more. Like you say, we'll probably be better off for this come next year, but look after the ball.
You went to 7-0 up. The team once went and done this work that week, overcome the pivot point. You were struggling to get back in yet. I don't know how you felt at half time trying to bring the team together, Dave.
We were confident at half time. So, we scored a good try. We conceded a soft one from the kick-off. We got down the other end, ended up getting a penalty, but we should have scored. We had a massive opportunity on the right side, and really, if we'd gone short or backdoor or straight to Tommy, we score. And 14-5 is a different proposition, isn't it? So we ended up getting a penalty, and we took that penalty. And then, Leinster were able to apply a bit of pressure and go multi-phase and got underneath us to lead at half-time. But, we felt that we're still in a pretty good place. We felt if we could keep the tempo going, we were getting in behind them, and so we're confident. We play good rugby. We're a very fit side, but again, you got to give credit to Leinster. They defended really well. They got off the line, they belted us, and they forced a few errors.
think the result would have been closer?
I don't know, closer. I think if we'd been as clinical as we were last week, we'd have won.
You're losing a lot of big players, you're losing Hoggie. Coulton's definitely not coming if that was changed in that front.
No.
Are you concerned that you're losing a few personalities?
Who do you mean other than Hoggie?
I'm talking about Hoggie, I'm talking about I don't think well tonight, but maybe Joey Sexton, played great. Talking about two positions, guys,
Yeah.
You've got a lot of talking about youth quite a lot, but you have experience in it as well.
Yeah, we've got a pretty experienced side. You look at how many Centurions we got. We often talk about Finn Russell leaving, now Hoggie leaving, but those guys get to a level where we just can't afford to keep them, and you can't afford to replace a Stuart Hogg with a Stuart Hogg because that's why he's going to Exodus. We're getting double than what we pay him. So you got to develop kids, or you spend a bit of money on someone who's maybe not as good, but has a bit of potential. So, but ultimately, X amount of years back, someone gave Hoggie a crack as a kid, someone gave Finn a crack as a kid, and they're now where they are now. So it's our same mindset around guys like Adam and so on. So, there'll be a good young fullback who may or may not get a crack next year. We may need to bring someone in to fill a hole for a season until one of those young guys come through. But we can't compete with the big teams from a financial point of view. So we've got to unearth rough diamonds and give them opportunities and bring them through a bit quicker. So.
Dave, is the fact it's a World Cup season, does that sort of force your hand a little bit more on the development front to be without so many other players? And also, Connell won it in the last World Cup season. Did you see another back marker taking advantage of the weak and big sides next time?
We're gonna miss a few. Obviously, we'll have a big chunk go with Scotland. We've got 4 other guys who we think will go away with other international teams. But like we've talked about, we've created pretty good depth. We're still going to have a pretty good side left here. We've got a lot of Sevens boys, 6 of them are going to train with us. We've got a lot of our Tier 3 academy boys, and some of those guys will play for us next year, some good kids coming through. So yeah, there'll be opportunities for some other young guys, and but the fact that we've blooded a number of young fellas this year is going to help us, we think. But it's no doubt our depths will be tested early. We get a couple of injuries, or if there's any more injuries in the next 6 weeks with Scotland's preparation, they look to us or Edinburgh to fill the hole, don't they? So but look, we'll work hard in the pre-season. We'll make sure we're ready to go, and you're right. Sides like Connacht won't be affected much. They'll be pretty strong, but we've shown that without our international boys, we can still win.